Chloe. So, I was just wondering, are you still not home?
Huh? Good evening, Lyla. As you know, me and your brother are on our honeymoon right now. We'll be back in 3 days.
3 days, huh? Got it.
Why? What's that about?
Oh, no real reason in particular. I was just curious, that's all. That's all I wanted you for. Bye!
What the hell was that all about?
Hey, Chloe! I just wanted to check something with you. There are no changes to you guys' plan to come back from your honeymoon the day after tomorrow, right?
Huh? Right. No changes to the plan.
You won't be coming home early or anything like that, right? One of you won't be coming home first, right? There's absolutely nothing out of the ordinary, is that correct?
Nope. As long as we don't have any unforeseen circumstances to deal with, everything will be going ahead as planned.
I see, okay.
Lyla, why are you asking me these things? I was confused when you asked me yesterday too, but now it's getting even weirder.
Well, I suppose it's not like you can make it home straight away anyways, so I might as well just come out with it.
Come out with what?
So, here's the thing. Me and my husband are living in yours and my brother's new house.
Excuse me?
In actual fact, we moved in and had all of our things carried here in a moving van 5 days before you left for your honeymoon.
What in God's name are you talking about? Stop joking around, Lyla. There are all sorts of reasons that's not possible, not least of them security. Even if I humor you for the sake of argument, having your luggage carried in wouldn't have been possible either.
Wrong! They carried it all in without a hitch, even the furniture. The moving company were great. They clearly knew what they were doing. Your new house now belongs to me and my husband. There's no doubt about it.
What the hell? If you're being serious, the security team have let us down big time. I'll be having words.
The house is probably in my brother's name right now, but when you guys get back from your honeymoon, we'd like to go through the necessary procedures to have it switched over to my husband's. Will you pass the message on to my brother?
What are you talking about? Stop messing me around, Lyla. Seriously, this can't be true. There are just too many reasons why what you're saying is impossible. There's no way you're living in our house right now. I just don't believe it.
We most definitely are. We already had all our stuff carried in. Plus, we've already been living here 5 days. We live here, so that means it's ours now. Sorry, Chloe. You snooze, you lose.
Lyla, I heard you pulled a similar trick ages ago before I met my husband. Back when you both lived together with your parents?
Huh?
Your dad had to leave home for a while due to work, and the moment he left, you moved into his old room and declared it your lawful possession for eternity. Apparently, you could barely contain your excitement at the thought of him coming back to try and get rid of you. Nothing came of it in the end, because you gave up when he came back and you saw how furious he was, saying it was just a practical joke.
Oh, that? That was so fun! My brother has such a good memory.
My husband's telling me I should ignore this because you're probably just being mischievous like you were when you were a kid. But I've gotta admit, you got under my skin with this one. Listen, Lyla, I don't know you as well as your brother, and I don't see the funny side of this. I know you might not be my biggest fan, but even for a practical joke, this is going too far. We're in the middle of our honeymoon for crying out loud, which means I'm sorry, but if you'll excuse me, we're going to enjoy the rest of our time together. I won't be replying to any more of your messages while we're away.
Wow.
I'm sorry to have to be a killjoy and rain on your parade, but what you're doing is unacceptable, and I don't see the funny side.
Are you sure that's what you want? If you ignore me, your house is barely going to be recognizable when you get back. Be careful. Me and my husband will have no choice but to enjoy our hobbies to the fullest. Hey, are you ignoring me already? Fine, have it your way. If that's how you're playing this, you leave me with no choice. Such a shame. It's time to make a house a home. Me and my hubby are gonna customize it until it suits our style and tastes perfectly. I hope you're ready for what's coming. First up, in a move so bold it would shock an African queen, we painted a huge heart on the outside wall. The wall is white, so the bright red heart really stands out. It's so bold you could see it from a mile off. I think it really makes a statement about who I am. I drew more hearts and stars all over the walls inside the house. I just drew them totally at random as the mood took me. There's actually something so artistic about how all of this is turning out. I should be nominated for a culture award. Who would have thought I was such a talented artist? I found my true calling after all this time. Don't worry though, it's not just pictures. I painted my whole room with a pink and black color scheme, and you wouldn't believe how well they complement each other. My husband decided he wanted a life of luxury, so he's dedicating 2 rooms to his beloved plastic model painting hobby. He's getting them set up as we speak. Thanks for buying us such a good house, Chloe. Thanks for giving it to us as well. We're super grateful. I'm having so much fun. I feel like a little girl again.
Lyla, we just got home.
Hey, make sure you don't go entering without permission. This is our house now, you know. I know it might feel strange to you, but you have to respect our boundaries.
But we're already sat in the living room enjoying a cup of coffee.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? Me and my husband are in the living room drinking beer and watching TV. What a weird thing to make up. Where are you really?
Were you serious about moving into our house? Because I'm starting to think it was all just one big made-up prank. I did think there was some oddie-specific stuff in the messages you were sending me, so I asked your mother just in case. And lo and behold, she confirmed you and your husband had been living in a house in the neighborhood until recently. But you moved out, and she didn't know where to, so I thought it might be true.
That's right. Duh, because it is true. Oh dear, you didn't think I was just making it up, did you? As if you'd think I'd really do something like that. This beautiful detached house with a yard belongs to us now. This is what you get for letting your guard down on your honeymoon. It's hardly fair that you and my brother are the only ones who get nice things.
I don't mean it like that. It does seem to be true that you moved into someone's house uninvited, just not ours. If we're being specific, our new house isn't actually a house at all. It's an apartment in a high-risk tower block.
Huh?
Not just that, but they have tighter security than Guantanamo Bay. There's a passcode system and security guards to ensure that only actual residents can enter. There's also a receptionist at the front desk. Me and my husband told the receptionist we'd be leaving for a little while before we went away on our honeymoon, so they'd never let anyone else into our apartment. You wouldn't have gotten in just the 2 of you, let alone had all of your things carried inside by a removal company. If the security guards didn't pick up on it, the cameras would have.
Uh-huh.
We phoned reception to put our minds at rest after your weird messages, and just as we thought, there's nothing out of the ordinary going on with our apartment. Whose house did you guys break into?
Wait a sec. So, let me get this straight. Your new house isn't really a house at all, but an apartment in a high-rise tower block?
Yes, exactly like I just said. How the hell did you get into whoever's house you're in right now? Did you have a key?
I found a key I didn't recognize in Mom's key case when I was over at her place. She was cooking for us in the kitchen, so I thought I may as well have a look through her things. It had the same address I overheard Mom mention on the phone a little while ago engraved into it. Given the timing, I didn't see what it could be other than the key to your new place. So I did what anyone would do and slipped it into my pocket while Mom wasn't looking.
No way! Is it the detached house on the house seating estate 10 minutes walk away from the southern ticket gate at the Apple station? By any chance?
Yes, actually it is. You know what?
Whoa! You've really gone and done it this time.
What do you mean? Gone and done what?
That's the house that your Aunt Kimmy is supposed to be moving into soon.
My Aunt Kimmy? No way! But she's abroad for work right now. How can that be? You're lying.
She's coming back soon because her company retransferred her to a branch in the States, and she bought that house as soon as she heard the news. All procedures regarding the sale and handover are complete, and it's already in her name. She's currently living in a temporary apartment in New York while working at the company branch there to finalize the handover of all the projects she was in charge of abroad. That's why she left the key with her sister, your mom. The plan was to put the finishing touches on her work stuff and then move into her new house and start a new life over here in earnest.
Oh my God.
That conversation you just mentioned overhearing on the phone, I'm guessing that was your mom speaking to your Aunt Kimmy about everything I just told you.
Seriously?
There should have been a mountain of cardboard boxes stacked up in the first room after you enter through the front door. Are they still there? That's all of your Aunt Kimmy's stuff.
Well, we might have sold some of it.
You sold your Aunt Kimmy stuff?
We found some expensive-looking brand clothing when we were looking through them, and we just did what we thought made the most sense.
What the hell are you playing at, Lyla?
What was I supposed to do? I thought it was all yours. Come on, see my side of things. How was it fair for my brother's new wife to have nicer things than me? Anyone would have done the same thing in my situation.
I'm not sure about that, you know. Anyway, you don't have much time. You need to get on the phone to whichever stores you sold your Aunt Kimmy's things to and see if there's any way you can get them back. Hopefully they haven't been sold already. There's a chance you might have to buy them back at a higher price, but it can be helped. Go, go, go!
What? Buy them back? Oh, it's no good. They sold the last item to someone 10 minutes before I called.
I see. My husband's currently explaining to your Aunt Kimmy what you did over the phone.
Oh my god, what? You told on me? You rat, how could you betray me like this?
Obviously, I told her. You think she doesn't have the right to know about a pair of lunatics breaking into her house and selling her things? I had no choice. Anyway, she wasn't happy. My husband had to keep reminding her he was only the messenger. She says your options are either to pay her one lump sum in compensation or to find exact replacements of every single item you sold and see to it she gets everything back as it was before you interfered.
What?
She says she's going to the house tomorrow to check on the situation. She says you're to stay there until she's seen you both and are absolutely not leaving under any circumstances.
Are you joking? Like hell I'm gonna sit waiting around here for my Aunt Kimmy to come and let me have it. You might not know this, but my Aunt Kimmy is super scary when she gets mad. My whole family walk on eggshells around her because no one wants to get on her bad side.
We had a feeling you might say that, so your mom and dad should be arriving anytime now. They'll be making sure you won't go anywhere. You're now officially under house arrest.
What?
Apparently your husband's parents are on their way too.
Wow, this so cannot be happening. You have to be joking me.
You're making a big mistake if you think you can worm your way out of this one. It's time to face the music, Lyla.
You've left me with no choice. Switch to defensive tactics. I'll lock every door in the house and hole myself up in here till they all get bored and give up.
Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. I forgot to mention, your mom has a spare front door key.
What? No! Why?
Impressive, you're still messaging me?
Why didn't you tell me before it came to this? I never would have done all this if I'd known it was my aunt's house. All you had to do was tell me.
Moving into someone's house without their permission while they're away isn't exactly something normal people do, is it? How exactly was I supposed to know where you were? Seems like you forgot all about the announcement that your Aunt Kimmy's stay in Sweden would be coming to a close. Maybe if you'd have remembered, you could have put two and two together.
No, I didn't forget. I just didn't think she was coming back that soon. Besides, I didn't know anything about her new house.
I see. Still, ignorance is just no justification for the way you've behaved.
Chloe, please.
My husband just messaged your mom explaining how instead of facing responsibility for what you did, you're hiding from them while complaining to me over text.
Hey, wait! Stop it! I found such a good hiding place! Ugh!
It's time to face the music, Lyla. Lyla's mom asked me if I could buy them some time by keeping her busy while they figure out where she was hiding. I happily obliged and kept her talking to me until the in-laws arrived at occupied Aunt Kimmy's house, after which point they quickly tracked her down and captured her. The next day, a furious Aunt Kimmy arrived accompanied by her lawyer. After an extremely long and tiring discussion, Aunt Kimmy agreed to settle for $75,000 in compensation from the shamed couple for their actions. Of course, that included the cost of the items they sold, but it also covered the cost of repairing the house, which had been left in an abysmal state after being subjected to Lyla and her husband's artistic endeavors. Finally, it included a sum to make up or the emotional distress the whole episode has caused. The moment Lyla heard the figure, she let out a shrieking scream so piercing it could be said to be heard from outside of the solar system. After that, both her and her husband had no choice but to start working several jobs each. Now under the strict supervision of her Aunt Kimmy, they led a miserable, soul-crushing existence of being worked to exhaustion on a daily basis to pay off their exorbitant debts.
Corey, I need to speak to you. Respond immediately. Corey!
Why are you messaging me out of the blue after all these years? Anyway, I'm at work right now.
Do you think I care? Everybody knows you're a good-for-nothing salary thief. I doubt anyone at your company would care about the most useless employee they're using his phone on shift.
Don't be ridiculous. These are peak busy hours.
Enough of your whining. Just be quiet and listen to me, boy.
Damn it. I just told everyone I'm heading out for my lunch break. What do you want?
Patricia's getting married.
Oh, you're messaging me about that? She told me herself.
I see. That girl always was incredibly upright and honest. To think she'd even go out of her way to let her failure of a big brother know about her wedding. She makes me so proud. I take it you also heard about her fiancé working at a major IT company with a very high salary too?
Yes, I know. Andy, right?
Ah, fantastic. In that case, I won't have to endure speaking to you for very long. I'll get straight to the point. Make sure you do not show up at Patricia and Andrew's wedding under any circumstances.
Huh? Wouldn't it be a little weird if I didn't go to my own sister's wedding?
Don't worry, I'll deal with that. I plan on telling him and his family that we haven't seen or heard from you since you ran away from home after graduating high school.
What the hell? I ran away? You kicked me out! They're obviously gonna see through such a bare-faced lie.
Not if I get the story straight with Patricia before we tell them together.
Come on, they're gonna know.
Look, Corey, just think about this for a moment, will you? Andrew graduated with high honors at Apple University. That makes him elite, cream of the crop, creme de la creme. Not only that, but the IT company he works for is currently one of the fastest growing startups in America. It was even in the news lately. He probably makes more money in a day than you do in 1 year. Can you imagine how embarrassing it would be if him and his family found out about his wife's big brother being a tragic high school graduate? I could faint just thinking about it. You need to work with us on this one. Do it for Patricia and her future. You owe her this.
Mom, why do you despise me so much? Fine. Maybe you could say that Patricia was always the more gifted one. She's pretty and intelligent. She always got the best grades in class. She's got the brains and the beauty. I get it. But even so, what kind of mother discriminates and plays favorites with her own kids?
Where on earth is this nonsense coming from after all this time? If I do favor Patricia, it's only because she accepts my love for her. She's cute, charming, polite, respectful, and she never talks back to me.
Look, Mom, I know she's all those things. I'm proud to call her my sister. But that doesn't justify you treating me with contempt. You speak to me like I'm a piece of dirt on your shoe. I don't have to put up with this.
I remember why we went years without speaking all of a sudden. I see you haven't changed a bit. You still insist on answering me back at every opportunity. You call yourself a man. It's about time you stopped acting like such an effeminate pansy. Getting jealous over your sister's brains and good looks? Pathetic.
I'm not jealous at all.
Anyway, do not come to the wedding. Do you have any idea how much shame and embarrassment you caused our family by not going to university? My son, the high school graduate. Ugh, I feel nauseous just saying it.
The only reason I didn't go to university is because you took all the money I earned at my part-time job. I was saving up especially to go to a prestigious university. It's not like I wanted to stop at high school.
This is what you get for neglecting your studies in favor of some poxy part-time job.
I hardly had a choice, did I? You made it abundantly clear you wouldn't be paying my tuition fees. I maintained above average grades at high school the whole time I was there. I graduated among the top 5%. Who's the one who stole every cent of the money Dad left me when you guys divorced? That money was meant to send me to university. If you didn't spend all my damn money on holidays and expensive restaurants, I would have gone to university just like I always intended to.
Pathetic. Do you know how effeminate you sound? Grumbling and complaining about the past like some upset child? Do I have 2 daughters? The bottom line here is that you are not invited to Patricia's wedding. I'll cut off all ties with you if you dare to show up. I mean it. This conversation is over.
Mom, wait!
I have nothing more to say to you. Sup, big bro? How's it going? You just got off work, right? Is now a good time to talk?
Hey, Patricia. Sure. I'm on the train back home right now. What's up?
I wanted to talk about the wedding.
Huh? With me?
Well, you see, I was wondering something. Mom and Dad are divorced now, right? Well, I was wondering if you'd do me the honor of walking me down the aisle and giving me away? I've talked it through with Andy. He thinks it's a great idea, too. Sure! The bride has to be given away at the wedding, right? Don't worry, I've spoken to Dad, and he's on board with it, too.
Wait, so does this mean Dad can't come?
Yeah. Ideally, I wanted him to be there for my big day, but his new wife's heavily pregnant right now, and the wedding just so happens to coincide with the week she's set to go into labor. So as much as he wants to come, it would be super difficult for him.
I see. That is awkward.
He told me to pass on a message. Corey, it pains me that I can't be there, but I'm counting on you. Do me proud, son.
I see.
Corey, are you okay? You don't seem that excited.
It's not that. It's just... Look, there's a chance I might not be able to come to the wedding.
What? Why? Wait, no way. Did Mom say something to you?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, she did.
Ugh! I want to know exactly what she told you. Spill it! Whether you give me away or not, you absolutely have to be at my wedding. I can't get married with my dad and my big brother not there. Me and Andy want you to be there, so who cares what she thinks? Just ignore her.
Thanks. That means a lot. She told me not to go to your wedding under any circumstances. She threatened to cut me out of her life if I didn't do what she said.
What? Oh my god.
Apparently, she intends on explaining it away by saying I pulled a vanishing act after graduating high school, and no one's heard from me since.
What the heck is she playing at? Even though she's the one who kicked you out? This makes no sense. Besides, you and Andy have known each other since way back, so why would she even bother trying to lie? Did you explain that to her?
No. At the time she gave me the order, I still hadn't heard anything from you and Andy, and I didn't want to cause any trouble. So I held back on telling Mom anything.
I see. Listen, Corey, I guess I understand you not telling Mom you guys know each other. Back when I introduced Andy to Mom, I also made a point of not mentioning that you and him were friends.
So I held back on telling Mom anything. I see. Because that would have led to her figuring out where I work, right?
Right. Having her pester you about money is the last thing you need. I never would have suspected in a million years she'd try and pull anything this crazy, though. This is surprising even for her.
No kidding. So what do we do? On the one hand, I'm expected to attend due to my position at work, while on the other, Mom is absolutely insistent that I don't come.
Listen, Corey.
Yeah?
Be honest. Would you really care if you never saw or heard from her again? Don't you think it might actually be for the best? To tell you the truth, I've been considering it myself for a while. I'm thinking of telling her I want nothing more to do with her after the wedding. Me and Andy discussed it with his parents, and we all agree it's the right thing to do.
Really?
Yes. I've always hated the way she looks down her nose at you and judges everyone based on what university they happen to or didn't happen to graduate. To think she'd drag her hateful worldview into what should be the happiest day of my life disgusts me. Family or not, there are some lines that should never be crossed. My patience with her has reached its limits, and I want her to know about it.
Patricia!
Anyway, make your preparations for the wedding day, okay? Because you are absolutely coming. Me and Andy will drag you to the church by your ankles if we have to. Leave the rest to us. Just ignore anything else Mom says to you. She isn't even worth the time it takes to read her messages.
Got it. I most definitely do not want to get ankle dragged. I'll be there. Thanks, sis. Sorry to trouble you guys with all this.
Don't be silly. There's only one person causing trouble here, but she won't be able to for much longer. Catch you later, bro.
Later. What do you want?
Corey! What's going on? I didn't know Patricia's wedding was today!
Oh yeah, you said Aunt Petunia messaged you, right?
Yes! That was the last message I expected to get from my sister. I've been trying desperately to get through to Patricia to figure out what the hell's going on, but she won't pick up. Do you know about this? If so, explain immediately.
Explain? Okay, here's your explanation. Patricia and Andy got married today. How's that? That satisfy you?
No. I know that. I want to know why they got married without telling me. It's downright criminal for a mother not to be invited to her own daughter's wedding. Downright criminal, I tell you. I demand an explanation.
Nope. Sorry, Mom. I hate to break it to you, but no crime has been committed. Actually, there's no problem with it at all.
Excuse me? Surely Andrew's parents don't see it that way.
Far from it, actually. They completely and wholeheartedly agreed.
They agreed? Why?
I wonder if it had anything to do with you, oh, I don't know, banning me from my own sister's wedding.
Huh? How could that be? I explained to them that we hadn't heard from them since you ran away after graduating high school.
Shall I just tell you? I guess I may as well. It's not like I have any reason to keep it a secret anymore. I'm Andy's, Patricia's husband's, boss.
What? What kind of fairy tale land are you living in? Snap out of it, son. You graduated from a public high school in Detroit, and your first job was on a production line at a fish factory. Get real, Corey. How could a fish-packing high school graduate possibly land a managerial job at a major IT company? Have you lost your mind? You're living in cuckoo land.
I got a new job.
A new job?
It seems like your image of me got frozen in time. After you kicked me out when I graduated high school, do you have any idea how many years ago that was?
No matter how many years pass, you'll always be a high school graduate.
I was studying programming. You know, the subject I wanted to pick at the university you prevented me from going to. The whole time I worked packing fish on that production line. After that, I landed a job at the IT company I had my sights on for years after getting through selection and passing their coding trial with flying colors. Then 2 years later, Andy joined the company.
What?
I was the one who introduced him to Patricia.
No way. You're making it all up. This can't be real.
Want to know one of the reasons I like Andy and his parents so much? Because they treat people with respect and decency regardless of their educational background.
Wait, so this means my story about you running away
was a complete waste of time and made you look like a deranged sociopath? Yup. In fact, it had the complete opposite effect.
Huh? What do you mean?
Did you really think they were just gonna look the other way when they found out how awfully you'd been treating your own son? Andy, his parents, his grandparents, and of course Patricia, were all furious. As a condition of them getting married, Patricia and I agreed to cut you out of our lives once and for all, like the malignant tumor you are.
Cut me out of your lives?
That's why no one told you anything about the wedding today. And that's why you couldn't get through to Patricia. That will be the case from now on until forever, by the way. So you may as well just give up. The only reason I didn't block your number is because I figured I'd have to explain everything to you at some point.
Oh my god. Cutting me out of your lives? Isn't this a bit extreme, son? You're my children, my babies. Not just that, but I thought I might be able to see your dad again after all these years at the wedding.
Don't worry. Dad wasn't there.
Huh? Why not?
Patricia did ask him to come. She would have loved for him to be there. But his new wife is due to go into labor, and no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't hit upon a scenario in which he could go to the wedding and not potentially miss the birth.
His new wife? Labor? Your father got married again?
Yep. I think it was about 6 years ago now.
That long ago?
Apparently, this will be their second child. They already have a 3-year-old.
I had no idea. No one told me about any of this.
You seem surprisingly shocked that Dad got remarried. No way. You weren't thinking of trying to start over with him, were you?
Well...
Actually, forget it. I don't care. To get back on point, the situation with Patricia's wedding was exactly as I explained. Now, since I had the nerve to go, thus disobeying your orders, we can finally break off all contact, just like you wanted.
Wait a second, just wait. This is all too extreme. You don't have to do this. We can go back to being one big happy family, can't we? We can, can't we?
Were we ever really a happy family, Mom? You have the rest of your life to think about that. Our minds are made up. Any final words?
You can come back and live with me at the family home.
What?
You have no idea how proud I am for you for working so hard and landing such an amazing job, son. I always knew you'd make it into the big leagues one day. My mother's instincts told me so. I'm over the moon for you. I really am. I think I might cry. I'm so proud.
Interesting. Are those the same mother's instincts that told you to kick me out and steal my tuition fees? You appear to have done quite the 180.
Huh?
I didn't think it was possible, but you're so fickle, I'm actually even more disgusted with you. If you're gonna be a poisonous witch, at least be consistent. Now you're a poisonous witch with no spine!
No, I mean it. I'm being sincere, son.
Where did you learn that word? I didn't think it was even in your vocabulary. Let's face it, you're only after my money. And if my suspicions are correct, before you found out I had a well-paying job at a prestigious company, your plan was to patch things up with Dad at the wedding, so you had access to another walking wallet to feed and clothe you. Either that, or you were plotting to sponge off Patricia and Andy after the wedding. Did I hit the bullseye? Which one is it? Probably both, right? It's good to keep your options open after all. Back here in the real world, even if we weren't disowning you, you would have never succeeded, because everyone knows exactly how toxic you are. I'm willing to call the money you stole from me a settlement for breaking off the relationship. Never contact me again. Goodbye. And that was the story of how my sister and I broke off relations with our mom. She always had some bad spending habits, and that was why my dad divorced her all those years ago. Patricia and I were still in middle school at the time, and we really wanted to go with him. But given the fact his job meant he regularly had to go away on business trips, it wasn't realistic. So we gave up on the idea. We were left no choice but to go into the custody of the Wicked Witch. We're both adults now, though. My sister lived at home with my mom a lot longer than I did. It was refreshing to see the look of pure relief on her face when she finally moved out and declared, "I'm free." Now our mom is alone. After the whole affair with the wedding, we left her in the care of her sister, our Aunt Petunia. She told us she intended to drill into her the discipline and life skills required to work and get by in the world on her own. That might sound harsh, but the truth is, she hasn't had a single job in her life. She only has herself to blame. All I can say is, good luck, Mom!
Cynthia, where's my money? I need money for groceries.
Oh, sorry, Allie. I couldn't go to the bank today. I was sick. I'll wire you the money tomorrow.
Stop making excuses. We made a deal, remember? That's why I let you get your own place. I even look after your dad's house and your brother. You understand that?
Of course. You took us in when my father got remarried, and you've been looking after the house since my dad passed. I really appreciate it.
Well, good. Just keep making that money for me. Don't be late again on your payment. I don't care if you're sick. Got it?
Okay, sorry.
Send an extra $1,000 this month.
What?
That's what you get for being a day late. My daughter wants a new dress, and I want a new bag, so...
But how will I pay rent?
You talking back to me now? Seriously? Don't push me. Don't make me hurt Kyle.
I'm sorry. I'll pay. Please, leave my brother out of this.
You two are unbelievable, you know that? If it wasn't for me, you'd both be out on the streets by now. After your dad died, I didn't have to take care of you two. I was just being nice, you know? You should be grateful.
I am. Again, thank you for everything. I really appreciate it.
You too. Why can't you be more like my daughter, huh? She got into a really good private school this year. She's so brilliant. She's nothing like you two.
Wait, what? Private school? How are you gonna pay for that? It can't be cheap.
I found a bank passbook in Kyle's room. It had a lot of money in it, so I'm planning to use that.
Hold up. That money is for his education. Please don't use that. And what are you gonna do to his room? He's 11 already.
Ugh, shut up. This is my house. I can do whatever I want. You don't get to tell me what to do.
But if you use that money, he won't be able to get an education.
What's the point? He's dumb as hell anyways. If you want an education for him, maybe you should get a second job. I know. Why don't you whore yourself out? I hear you can make a lot of money doing that. Want me to hook you up? I know a guy who knows a guy. The pay is pretty good.
No, thanks. Look, about your daughter's tuition, I'll figure something out. So please leave Kyle's money alone.
Fine, fine. But if you're late on your payment again, I'm taking the money. Now get back to work.
Okay.
Don't forget to add the extra $1,000. Oh, and send me some money for her school uniforms and textbooks too. Got it?
Okay, I will. I gotta go.
Cynthia, the house is empty. You know something about this? What's going on here? Explain yourself.
Welcome back, Allie. How was your vacation with your daughter? You two were gone for a week. I bet you had a lot of fun.
Shut up. Why is there a sold sign on the house? Where's our stuff? You're not getting away with this.
Shut the hell up. You know who you're talking to?
What? What did you just say to me?
Just shut up and listen. About the house? You can't live there anymore. I sold it, so…
What? Sold it? You can't just sell off the house without my permission.
Actually, I can. I inherited the house from my dad, so…
Wait, what?
You inherited his money, but the house, he gave it to me. I'm the one who pays the property tax. It's my house, so I can do whatever I want with it. But no worries, I rented an apartment nearby. All your stuff is there, so you're welcome. The first month is already paid for, but the rest is up to you.
This is ridiculous. I've been living there for years. I got rights.
Actually, you don't. You didn't fill out the proper paperwork, so… Dad didn't leave a will, and technically we're not family anymore, so… I was just being nice to you. You understand that? But you acted like you owned the place. And you took my brother hostage.
Screw you! I'm the one who took care of your brother. How dare you?
Seriously? You mean he took care of you? He told me everything. I know you worked him like a dog. You made him do everything around the house. You even hit him when he messed up, right?
That's called discipline. And he's not even family. You thought I'd let him stay at my house for free?
You're unbelievable, you know that? And you used up all his savings too. You didn't even use it for your daughter's education. You used it to buy stupid things for yourself. Then you told Kyle to get a job right after middle school. What the hell is wrong with you?
Shut up! Shut up! You should be grateful I took you in. You two owe me. And Kylie's dumb as hell. He won't learn anything in high school anyways. Might as well get a job.
That's not your call. Kyle is with me now, so no worries. I handed in all the necessary paperwork while you two were gone, so… Oh, and I got his money back too.
Wait, how? Wait, what do you mean?
Yep, I sold all your designer bags and stuff. You bought it with his money anyways.
You little shit. You're not getting away with this. Stay where you are, I'm coming for you. I know where you live.
That's a good one. How stupid are you? Remember what we talked about 4 years ago?
Huh?
Remember when you asked me to pay you an extra $1,000 for being late on my payment? The thing is, I had already moved by then. I even got a new job. Moving cost me a lot of money. That's why I was late on your payment. I was pretty worried that you might find out. So, yeah, you won't be able to find me. You can try to find us, but you'll just be wasting your time. You can't even beg us for money anymore. Poor you.
What?
I've been planning this for a while now. It took longer than I expected, but now we can finally move on with our lives. Thank goodness. Not sure where you're gonna live from now on, but oh well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Have fun being miserable.
Hold up! I'm sorry. I had no idea you felt that way about me. Please forgive me. Please, I'll do anything. Come on, I'm your mother, and think of your little sister.
Mother? Little sister? What on earth are you talking about? My mom is dead, and I don't have a little sister. I'm done with you. Get out of our lives, you old hag. Go to hell.
No!
Oh, and one last thing. You know your daughter has a secret Facebook account, right? She uploaded this really interesting picture the other day.
What?
She was partying with some college students. She was drinking too, I think, but she's underage. I sent the pic to her school.
What?
Her school's really strict, right? She'll probably get expelled. Sucks to be her. After all that money you spent on her education. Too bad.
Why would you do this? Why get her involved? Leave her out of this. Please stop.
No worries. I'm done with you two. I'm gonna block you now. You won't be hearing from me again. Bye. After that, Allie and her daughter moved into the small apartment I rented for them. She tried to find a new job but failed miserably. A month later, they were out on the streets. Oh, and her daughter got expelled. They got in a huge fight after that and she ran away from home. I heard she works as a hooker now or something. So, Allie lost everything. A friend of mine told me that she now lives in the park. Sucks to be her, but oh well, good riddance.
Hello, Rita. You there? Hurry up and pick up, would you? Come on, pick up, would you? I don't have all day.
I'm sorry, Mother. I was just doing the laundry. Is there something I can help you with?
You're always way too slow, Rita. How many times have I told you to answer me on the first call? I told you to keep your mother-in-law's line a priority. I don't have all day to wait for you to reply, for God's sake.
Yes, ma'am. I'm really sorry about that. Like I said, I was doing the laundry, and I also left my smartphone in my bag and didn't notice that you had texted me, and…
Yeah. I don't want to hear your usual excuses. Just be more careful next time. Keep the phone in your back pocket or something. Use your head.
Right. I'll keep that in mind. So, what can I do for you, Mother?
I want you to come over to my place, right now.
Right now? You want me to go over to your place?
I want you to clean the stairs. It's gotten a bit dusty and I don't want to slip on it. Plus my back is killing me and I don't want it to get worse. So I want you to come over here and clean it up.
Mother, have you forgotten? You do remember that I sprained my ankle the other day while cleaning your windows. You know, slipped off that old ladder?
Oh, really? Did you? Wasn't that like a year ago?
It was 2 days ago, Mother. How could you forget that?
Anyways, what's a little sprain? You're making a big thing out of nothing. Cleaning the stairs doesn't require you to climb up a ladder. A little ankle sprain won't be a bother.
Actually, it swelled up quite a bit. The doctor said I shouldn't put pressure on it for a few days. Besides, with you nearby, I really worried what you might do.
Huh? What are you trying to imply?
I can't believe you already forgot, Mother. I was carrying that big jug of laundry detergent up the stairs when you came up behind me and bumped me out of the way. I just about tumbled down those stairs. I was able to catch my balance just in time. If I had this sprained ankle then, I would have ended up at the bottom of those stairs. So, no way I'm taking a chance in this condition. To be honest, I'm frightened that I might get injured.
That was totally your fault. You were climbing those stairs right when I was super busy. You're always so slow. I'm really offended that you would blame me for your ineptness.
I can't trust someone who simply shrugs and casually brushes aside what could have been a serious injury. All you said was, "Oh, sorry about that." You showed zero remorse. I don't feel comfortable working around you. There, I said it.
My, being a little rude this morning. I can't believe I'm stuck with such an ill-mannered daughter-in-law.
I don't plan to be your maid who jumps whenever you come calling. So, yeah, you can call me ill-mannered or smart alecky or whatever you want. Be my guest.
I cannot believe you, Rita. I never expected such a crass daughter-in-law. What was my son thinking, marrying you? Such an insolent woman. I never should have consented to this marriage. I really should have gone with my instincts. But there's no turning back now. I'm going to teach you a little about being a proper daughter-in-law. I'm headed over there right now. Get ready for some real training. I'll make you into a well-mannered daughter-in-law, so help me God.
You can come over if you like, but I won't be here.
Huh? What do you mean you won't be there?
I won't be there because I'm not living there anymore. I moved out.
What do you mean you moved? Oh, wait, I get it. So it finally came down to this, I see. Kevin finally had enough of you. Well, I don't blame him.
Huh? What are you talking about?
No need to ask me. I'm all for you guys getting divorced. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. But I will tell you right now, I will not give up little Dave. He's my precious little grandson. He's not going anywhere. Unlike her mother, he's an angel, the future head of our household. I'll bring him up myself. I'll take care of him as if he were my very own son.
Right. I'm afraid you got it all wrong, Mother. You really do have your head in the clouds. For your information, we all moved away, Kevin and Dave included.
Huh? What are you saying?
Well, it seems your son, Kevin, has had it with your mistreatment of me. No matter how many times he has warned you about it, you failed to heed his warnings. It just so happened that his company was looking for someone to work on the East Coast, and he grabbed at the chance. And Dave just finished junior high. It'll be a good chance for him to continue high school in a new location, make new friends. It'll be a wonderful change for him. We're even thinking about buying a house there. It's a very nice area. Bit cold in the winter, but a beautiful neighborhood.
What? Are you out of your mind? Do you really think I will allow this? Well, I'm not.
I don't think you have any right to say that after how you treated me over the years. I am so relieved to be free of your bullying. Goodbye.
If that's the case, I will move to the East Coast too, wherever that may be. I'll sell this place and move in with you.
Sorry, we have no intention of telling you where we live.
Just tell me the address right now.
Sorry, can't do that. Sorry, goodbye.
Hello, Rita. I finally found you guys. It looks like you're all out this morning. Family outing or something? Nice house. When you get back, I'll start on that daughter-in-law etiquette training we talked about. Marine boot camp will seem like a day in the park after I'm done with you.
Mother? What's this all about? What's wrong with you?
Oh, Rita, welcome back. I was waiting for you.
Cut the crap, Mother. What are you doing barricading yourself in one of our rooms? Are you out of your mind?
I take it you read that letter I left on the living room table.
That's why I'm texting you. Just cut this crap and come out of that room right away.
Not until you agree to my terms. I'm not coming out of here until then. I will resist you for however long it takes. I've got enough rations to last me a month.
If you mean you want to live with us, that's not going to happen. How did you find out where we lived anyways? I didn't tell anyone where we moved to, except for my folks and your husband.
Well, there was a key on my husband's keychain, one I hadn't seen before. Figured it was yours. As for finding out this address, I stalked out your parents' place for days until one day I lucked out. Actually, it was what I was waiting for.
What do you mean, lucked out? What are you talking about?
Did you recently send a small package to your parents?
You're kidding me. Did you steal our mail?
Please, I'm not a thief. All I did was take a look in the mailbox, used my smartphone to snap a picture of the address label. I didn't take anything. I put the package right back where I found it.
What the hell are you doing? You've totally lost it.
You took my grandson away from me. It's not normal. A grandmother should be able to see her grandson anytime she wants. That's the way it just is.
You belong in a mental facility. This is not normal. I'm going to call the police. Just come out of that room right away.
Oh yes, this room, it must be yours by the looks of it. You really have horrendous taste.
What?
This room looks like it's used by a 6-year-old. So messy, clothes strewn about everywhere, snacks everywhere. Besides, a housewife does not need her own room. A wife sleeps with her husband. Therefore, this room shall be mine. And all the stuff in this room, all these posters and plastic models, oh yeah, and all those comics and DVDs in the closet. I put all that junk into a garbage bag and took it out by the side of the road this morning. I'm sure it's all gone by now. And good riddance.
You must be kidding. Tell me you're kidding.
I'm not kidding. Why would I kid about that? That's just an awful hobby of yours. Comics and DVDs? What are you, a teenage juvenile? You're a married woman with a child. This kind of infatuation with comics and DVDs, it just doesn't set a good example for my grandson. We'll think of this as the first step in your training, getting rid of all this junk.
Dave is with me right now. He's seething with anger.
Huh? What do you mean?
Grandma? This is Dave.
Oh, Dave, my dear grandson, I'm so sorry to barge in like I did. I had no other choice. I wanted to see you so badly. I hope you understand. Your mother was so against me living with you. I really had no choice. But you don't have to worry anymore. You can now live with your grandma as you've always wanted. I can't believe that your mother would prevent you from seeing me. Anyway, let's put all that aside and have a nice comfortable life with me and Grandpa.
Is it true that you got rid of all the stuff in that room?
Yes, that's right, I did. Your mother is just unbelievable. I had no idea that she had such a reprehensible hobby. I mean, at her age? Please! She's a mother for God's sake, and I also can't see where she finds the time to have such a hobby. No wonder she never does anything properly. But all in all, it turned out okay. I'm just glad it didn't influence you negatively, now that I'm here.
Are you finished, Grandma? That room you're in? That's my room.
Huh? You mean, this is your room?
Are you serious about what you said? That you threw out all my stuff? The comics and figures that I took years to collect? My DVDs too? Please say it's not true.
This is your Dave's room, not your mom's? Wait a second.
I would think it would be obvious. Any normal person would immediately realize it's a kid's room. What's wrong with you, Grandma? So let me ask you one more time. Did you seriously throw that stuff out?
Hold on a second. I was just, but your room is upstairs, I thought.
Mom and Dad use those rooms for their remote work. The Wi-Fi router is up there. They have better reception. My room's on the first floor.
Dave, don't worry. You really don't have to cover for your mother. The children usually have rooms on the second floor.
Like I said, my room's on the first floor.
Huh?
That room is next to the garage and the front driveway. You probably don't even know this, but I'm on the school basketball team. Actually, it was comics that got me interested in it. I wanted my room on the first floor so I could get out and shoot hoops whenever I wanted. Mom and Dad agreed.
Comics got you interested in basketball? So does that mean that those magazines and DVDs...
Like I've been saying, the room you barged into, that's my room. That stuff you threw out, that's all mine. My precious treasure that I've been collecting since I was in elementary school. How could you do that?
Huh? That can't be.
I want it back. I want all of it back. I bought all of that myself. I saved my allowance and bought all those things. And since getting into high school, I saved up money from my part-time job. And those comics, they're worth a fortune. I worked hard to get those. Some of them were super rare. Mom and Dad bought me some of that stuff for my birthday, too.
Huh? Please, Dave, I didn't mean to.
I want all of it back now! Right now!
But Dave, this kind of hobby, comics and all, it's all for geeks. You never get a proper girlfriend.
Are you serious?
That's right. Just think of this as a good opportunity. An opportunity to start a new and grown-up life. Would you say?
What's that got to do with you throwing out all of my valuable possessions? And what's so bad about being a geek? All these recent tech guys were all geeks, even Bill Gates. Besides, how could you be so stupid as to confuse my room with my mom's? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard someone do!
Well, to know.
And about having a girlfriend, I'm already seeing someone.
Huh? You already have a girlfriend?
And it's none of your business whether I have a girlfriend or not. What's more, why don't you apologize? You don't even feel remorse for what you did. That's common sense, isn't it? You do something wrong, you apologize. Didn't they teach you that in school? Or does not apologizing mean you're going to get all my stuff back? Is that it?
Well, I can't.
I want it all back. Do you hear me? I want it all back.
Dave, listen.
I hate you, Grandma.
Huh?
I hate the way you treat Mom. You treat her like a slave. How could you be so cruel? I never liked how you treated her, but you did it this time. I couldn't sit back and watch you treat Mom like that any longer. Get the hell out of our house! I never want to see you again!
But Dave, please calm down. Let's talk directly and work things out. What'd you say?
I'm texting you online because I don't want to see your face. Don't you even get that?
Please, Dave. You're my grandson. My precious grandson would never talk to me like that.
Just get the hell out of our house!
Dave was so angry he could not stop texting her. I had to calm him down and pry his fingers off his smartphone. As I was doing so, my mother-in-law came sulking out of Dave's room. Right about then, my husband came home from work. My mother-in-law figured she had him on her side and quickly regained her composure and her confidence, but the look on my husband's face was not of pity, but of anger. He reprimanded her for her despicable behavior and her treatment of me. My husband dragged her out of the house and into his car and back home. About Dave's valuable collection, that amounted to an astonishing $8,000 due to some extremely rare comics and figures. Fortunately, he was able to get some of the items back before they were destroyed. My father-in-law paid for the damages, but insisted that she work to pay him back. Well, my mother-in-law finally realized that she treated me wrongly. I hear she's working at her part-time job every day to pay back her debts. Maybe she's finally learned her lesson.
Ross! Did you go into work on your day off again? Man, you gotta be kidding me. Are the wages at your crummy factory job really that bad? So you gotta keep going in when you should be at home chilling? Sucks to be you. I, on the other hand, am a manager at a world-famous major company, respected and admired by all. I'm so grateful I went to college. Best decision of my life! It's a weird feeling to be so far ahead of my big brother in life, but I guess you get out what you put in, huh? If we're honest, you were basically screwed the moment you decided not to go to college. I mean, who does that these days? Yep, it's factory life for you, now and forever.
Hi, Eric. I see you're being as unpleasant as humanly possible, just like always. You don't mince your words, huh? Things are crazy busy right now because we're going through the busiest period of the year. That's the only reason I came in on my day off. Nothing to do with needing the money. I wanted to help. We may be a small-town factory, but things have been going really well ever since we landed the patent on those new medical devices. Our brand's becoming more well-known by the day. My salary's not exactly shabby.
I see!
Anyway, where do you think the money to put you through college came from in the first place? You think it fell from the sky?
I thought it came from the insurance money from when Mom and Dad died in the car accident. How many times are you gonna ask me the same crap?
Until you understand it, which sadly seems like it could take a while. How many times do I have to tell you the payout from the crash wasn't that big? I tried showing you the insurance documents so it'd finally go into that thick skull of yours, but you didn't even seem interested in looking.
This is why you're poor, big bro. 'Cause you waste all your time doing useless stuff. Looking at a bunch of old documents isn't gonna make me rich, and it's not gonna magically turn you into a college grad.
That's not the point.
You're right. This boring crap ain't why I messaged you in the first place.
Huh? Did you actually want to talk about something?
Alright, so listen to this. You ready to be surprised? Me and Sandra, we're getting married!
Oh, wait, what? That's Sandra? You mean the Sandra from our class at school? The one who people used to say was unobtainable? And out of everyone's league?
Yep, that's her. So you know her then?
Even though you're 10 years younger than me. That's weird. One of my classmates in middle school is related to her. I don't know her myself, though.
I see. Well, if you know her, this should go a lot quicker than I expected. Did you know that her family are the biggest landowners in town? And how it's basically said that they run the place?
I had heard rumors. You know how things get around. I heard that her dad's the head of the family right now. But his health isn't what it used to be, so Either Sandra, or whoever Sandra marries, is set to inherit the position and take over as Don. Is that right?
Bingo! I managed to bag myself the daughter of the most powerful family in town. That's why I'm cutting you out of my life.
Excuse me? I'm confused. How are we getting from A to B here? What?
Think about it. Can you imagine how embarrassing it's gonna be for me to explain to my rich new family that my big brother doesn't even have a college degree?
Embarrassing?
Living in poverty and destitution with you was also a big factor in my decision. I've been desperate to get away from all this, and away from you, for a long time now. That's why, as soon as I landed my job, I moved out and got my own place, alone. I just had to get some distance between us before I cracked up.
Living in poverty and destitution? Come on, Eric, that's not fair. Look, I know the period just after Mom and Dad died was rough, but things got better after that. I did my best to give you everything you needed.
Nope! You're missing the point. I'm talking about way before that. Your life was an epic dud at the point you decided not to go to college. That's where me and you, we parted ways, even if we were still together physically. You know, the people you associate with in life are important. Right, bro? We influence each other. And I can't risk being influenced by a loser like you a second longer. My marriage to Sandra will be the beginning of my glamorous new life of celebrity and luxury. I'll be loved, admired, and adored by all. Signing autographs will be a daily occurrence. I can't wait. You're nothing but an eyesore getting in the way of my bright, promising future. Your very existence is jeopardizing my shot at true happiness.
I see. I did kind of get the feeling you were looking down on me for a while now, but I had no idea you hated me this much. Back when Mom and Dad died when you were 5, I did everything I possibly could to make sure you had everything you wanted. I wanted my little brother to be happy.
I never asked for a foster dad, especially not one without a college degree. This could have all been avoided if you just accepted Uncle Jim and his wife's offer to take me in. But you had to be stubborn and turn them down so you could play the hero, didn't you? This is all your fault!
Huh? Uncle Jim? Are you still in contact with Uncle Jim?
Why wouldn't I be? He's the only relative I have left. You make a big song and dance of being the one who got me through school and into college, but in reality, it was thanks to Dad's insurance money, wasn't it? And who told me all about that money? Uncle Jim.
Huh? Is that why you believed everything he said and wouldn't even hear out what I had to say? I told you to stop speaking to him, Eric. All he's ever done is fill your head with convenient lies so he could manipulate you in his own ends when you grew up. How can't you see what he's doing? That's why I refused his offer of taking you in. It was never about caring about you or wanting what was best for you. He's a greedy man whose only goal in life is lining his own pockets.
You can say whatever you want. Pretty convenient how he's not here to defend himself, isn't it? It ain't gonna work with me, so you may as well stop wasting your breath.
I see. There was one more thing I wanted to discuss with you about where we go from here. But if you won't listen to a word I've got to say, it's probably a waste of time.
Thank God you understand. It's not just me who thinks so. Uncle Jim said that I'd be better off if I ignored 99.999% of what you said to me, because apparently you're a pathological liar. Now I'm set to marry into major wealth. I have literally zero need for you. So I figure I can finally cut you out of my life for good, like I've been wanting to do for a heckin' long time.
Fine, I get it. Goodbye.
Disappear from my life forever, you poverty-stricken loser!
Hey, Ross, you got a minute?
Good evening, Ginny. How's it going? Is this about what we talked about before?
No, it's about something else this time. Have you heard about your little brother's engagement?
Huh? Oh, that. Sadly, yes, he was bragging about it a few days ago. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. You and Sandra are related, aren't you? I remember hearing that.
Yep, you heard right. We're second cousins. Look, Ross, there's something I think you should know about this engagement.
What is it?
I'm just gonna come straight out with it, no matter how weird it might sound. Your little brother Eric's involved in a plot with your Uncle Jim and his wife.
Huh?
I happened to see Eric drinking with his friends at a local bar, I think he's a regular there. I've seen him a few times before, too, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, it seemed like he was celebrating something, and he got blind drunk. I don't make a habit of eavesdropping on people, but he was so loud I couldn't help it. He said some things. I want to tell you everything, but I'd rather do it in person. Can we schedule a meet sometime? You're free tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, it's my day off tomorrow. I'll leave the time and place to you.
All right, thanks, Ross. I'll message you tonight with the details as soon as I've decided on somewhere.
Got it.
Thanks for taking the time to meet today, Ross.
Not at all. I should be the one thanking you. I'm so sorry for all the trouble my brother and uncle have caused you.
You haven't done anything wrong, Ross. You don't need to apologize to me. But as for the matter at hand, it seems like the Three Stooges are preparing to put their little plan into action soon.
Right. I'm gonna stick to my guns and keep my distance from them just like I declared back then. There's nothing to gain from associating with people like that.
Good idea. And I couldn't agree more. They're toxic through and through. I think it's for the best. That means we're gonna be speeding up that thing we discussed earlier, okay?
Okay, got it. I'll make my preparations for moving ASAP.
Ross! You know something about this, don't you? Answer me!
What do you want, Eric? I'm pretty sure I remember you cutting me out of your life. Why are you messaging me?
I don't give a crap about that! Don't dodge the question, you chump! My fiancé dumped me because of you!
Huh? You mean marriage with Sandra's off the table now?
That's what I said, isn't it? Ah! I know you know something about this! Come out with it now! What did you do?
Well, you knew it was a tradition in her family for daughters to get their whole inheritance when they marry, right? I wonder if her dumping you had something to do with finding out she had your sights on her money.
What?
Or could it be something to do with how you, Uncle Jim and his wife were all conspiring behind their backs to use her money to prop up Uncle Jim's failing company? He's been in the red for years now. Everyone knows he's been desperate for someone to bail him out for ages. You realized from an early stage that if you could just worm your way into Sandra's family line of succession like the honorless slug you are, you'd have a shot at that money, right?
Wait, how did you?
They all seem pretty likely candidates as to why you're all alone. What do you think?
What do I think? I think you're gonna pay for this, you big idiot! Ah! Anyway, Sandra was gonna be my wife! What the hell does what I was gonna do with her money have to do with anyone else? Nothing! It would have been my property the moment we tied the knot!
And there we have it, your true intentions.
Huh?
Or your true nature, I should say. I can't help but feel some responsibility for what a reprehensible scumbag you turned into, given I played a pretty major role in bringing you up since you were 5. Where did I go wrong?
Get off your high horse! I don't remember you being my dad! You're just some poverty-stricken loser who never gave me any money!
You have no idea, huh? You still think your college expenses came from some magical never-ending insurance fund, don't you? Well, I've got news for you, boyo.
What? It's the truth, isn't it? That's how I went to college!
You'd have known this if you had any interest in your family. But even while Mom and Dad were still alive, our family never had much money.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but Mom and Dad were employees at Uncle Jim's company. Had been there close to a decade at the time of the accident. But Uncle Jim, being the stand-up guy he is, used Dad's quiet, conflict-averse personality as an excuse to drop his salary as low as he possibly could, knowing he'd never dare question it. The name on Dad's insurance policy wasn't mine or yours, but Uncle Jim's. What little savings Mom and Dad did have were blown on a huge, unnecessarily extravagant funeral by Uncle Jim, so he could point and say, "Look what I did," while bragging to everyone about what a great send-off had given them. That flashy funeral wasn't just paid for by Mom and Dad's savings either. He also borrowed from some of his friends and refused to pay them back afterwards, leaving them penniless. What the hell? Uncle Jim did all that stuff? If I was older and knew more about the world back then, I would have done whatever I could to stop him. But I was a middle school kid who just lost his parents in a horrific accident. I could barely even process what was going on, so I was in no position to do anything about him. He took everything. Insurance money, Mom and Dad's savings, and even stole from his friends.
Uncle Jim did that?
That's not even the last of it. After that, I caught wind of his plan to take custody of me and you so he could exploit us as free labor at his company one day when we were old enough to start working. Knowing what he was like, I was sure that was his aim, and I was willing to stop at nothing to prevent him getting his way. He'd taken everything by this point. There was no way I was going to let him turn us into slaves. But then you grew up, went out into the world, developed ideas and desires of your own, and, well, you did what you did. I was never going to be able to control you forever, and that's where we are now.
How could this be? No! This can't be happening!
This isn't the first time you've done something like this. The signs have always been there.
Ah!
I should have known back then when you looked down on me and wouldn't listen to a word I said, even back then. And you know what? There was a part of me that had my suspicions, but I didn't accept my own little brother thought so little of me. I mean, who would? Wish I'd noticed sooner, but I deluded myself with a comforting lie.
Ross!
But you're an adult now. It's time for you to decide on your own what kind of life you want to live, for you to make your own mistakes, and to suffer the consequences of them too.
What? On my own?
I won't be there to get you out of trouble anymore, Eric.
Ross! No! Please! Ross! I got fired! Or rather, they're letting me jump on my own before they push me! I just found out that my company and Sandra's dad's company are just about to enter business negotiations to become long-term trading partners! My boss said it would be bad for the company to have someone like me around at such an important time! He basically said if I didn't resign, they'd fire me! I had no choice! I thought you'd come and help me, so I gave all the higher-ups a good verbal dressing down! I really gave him one form, then slammed my resignation papers down on the desk. But, Ross, where did you go? When I asked Mavis, the next-door neighbor, she said she saw you packing your things into a moving van over a week ago. She said you also resigned from the factory in town a few months ago. Like, what the hell? Is it true? You never told me that. Ross, please, I'm begging you. Where did you go? Please respond. Help me. My situation is desperate. I'll do anything. Ross!
After everything that had happened, I decided it would be best for me and my little brother Eric to live apart and lead separate lives. By the way, while all of this had been going on, Ginny invited me to work at the company she and her friends from college had launched together. And with that, I switched jobs and became the head of their Seattle branch, where I played a major supporting role for Ginny. I'm super grateful for her. And honestly, she couldn't have invited me at a better time. I get reports on my brother from my old friends who still live in town from time to time. Apparently, things aren't going so well for him anymore. Last I heard, he was left with no choice but to move in with his Uncle Jim, whose true nature he was now fully aware of, and his wife in their cramped one-bedroom apartment. But Uncle Jim, being Uncle Jim, he was up to his ears in debt after his company finally went bankrupt of years of teetering on the edge. As anyone could have predicted, my little brother Eric was forced to clean up the mess by taking on the debt repayments. How does he come up with the money, you ask? By working 4 jobs, wow! Not only that, but he also owes Sandra a hefty sum in compensation for the attempted inheritance fraud they tried to pull. So he's engaged in the struggle of his life with no light at the end of the tunnel. Do I feel sorry for him? Not one bit. Actions have consequences, and it's time for him to face them like a man. This is the life he chose. As for me, my efforts to forge out a new life for myself are well underway, and I plan to apply forethought and moderation in all things. I'll never be an Eric, and you shouldn't either.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.